Well, first I would just like to ask, why do you interest in clothing?
Well, I mainly just wanted to show, in a very ironic way, how ridiculous these women look in these movies. However, as the video progressed, I mainly used the topic to show how clothes or physical appearance don't dictate how a person should act. Actions based on physical appearance is one of the main problems that we really have with the movie industry, in this movement, actually.
Your whole movement seems to be about getting people to think for themselves. However, the majority of what you do is telling people how to think in order to think for themselves. What do you think about this irony?
You see, there is one key difference in what we are doing to what the Hollywood movie industry is doing. In Hollywood, they feed absolutely everything to us. How things should look, how things should sound, and even how we should think. In our movement, we are more awakening others and giving them the materials to think for themselves. This is actually what we think that movies should be doing.
And my final question is, how do you know that movies are the cause of all of these problems that you think that they cause?
The main fact is that whether we like it or not, movies are essentially everywhere. They are on our televisions, on our computers, on the side of our food containers, and even on buildings. And with this major amount of advertising, they start this sort of a system. The industry needs to make money, so they try and enhance the stereotypes that exist already to make it more appealing to the consumers. However, when the younger generations who don't have their values set in stone are bombarded by these constant images, they learn about these exaggerated stereotypes as being normal. When this is finished, the next generation grows up with completely different and immoral values. And this is something that we simply cannot accept.
Hey, ladies. This is our movie! And Dr. Pepper 10 is our soda. It's only 10 manly calories, but with all 23 flavors of Dr. Pepper. It's what guys want. So you can keep the romantic comedies and lady drinks. We're good. Dr. Pepper 10, it's not for women!
Our final revolutionary is a man by the name of Ricky Wong. He had worked in the Hollywood movie industry for 8 years. He spent those years mainly playing menial and supporting roles for the movie industry, such as in the movie The Hidden Tiger of Eternity. Here is our analysis of his role. After his peaceful 8 years at Hollywood, he finally snapped and left the industry. His autobiography, The Afterthought, explained his experiences in Hollywood in order to discourage others from making his same mistakes, to convince others to change the way that Hollywood functions. Here are some of the last chapters from his book.
At last, the film I've been working on for months has finally been released. I suppose I should have felt delighted and accomplished for completing such a momentous task, but strangely, I felt a sudden animosity build up with me. Eventually, I came to the conclusion that my status as a supporting character, as the director very politely calls it, was responsible for the strange sentiment. I determined that being a supporting character meant that I was the man whom the main character abused, whether it be verbally or physically. The man who conducted himself ridiculously and had to be rescued by the main character. The man who frequently ended up in the hands of the antagonist. The man who conjured up brainless ideas far below the capabilities of most people. To make matters worse, all the primary actors were white males. Here I was, the manipulated Asian, who received the short end of the unjust stick. I did not understand. It was as if I was being treated as a second-class citizen because of my skin color. In addition, I had watched many of the previous films O'Neill had directed, and out of the past 7 films, all the main characters were white. What baffled me was that some of the films were based on true stories, involving black or even Asian characters. Why? It was like saying, we like your story, but we don't like your skin color, so we're going to make the character white instead. Not surprisingly, it was like a kick in the face, a stab in the back, an explicit and unrestrained act of discrimination. This was not the first time this has happened, too. Take The Last Airbender, for example. It was based on an Asian cartoon, but all the characters are white. After the civil rights movement, you would have thought that people would start to portray all races with respect and equality. I offered to substitute. I wanted to get a chance to play a leading character, but the director swiftly said absolutely not. I was confused. I fit the criteria of the character perfectly. I decided to ask the director after shooting why I was allowed to substitute. As I approached him, he seemed a bit irritated, as if he was in a hurry to leave. As soon as he saw me, he gave me a wry stare and began into Pakistan with alarming speed. I walked a bit faster to prevent him from leaving before I got my point across. After a rather awkward exchange of greetings, I presented him my question. Mr. O'Neill, I just wanted to know why I was denied the substitute role. I'm always looking for places to improve, so I was thinking maybe there's something I was deficient in. He narrowed his eyes, pondering for a moment, and gave me a swift reply. You don't have the aptitude to be the character. He proceeded to walk out the studio, without giving me a chance to respond. I noticed his gait was a bit heavier than normal. Had I angered him by asking a simple question? But what did he mean that I didn't have the aptitude? I was pretty sure I had met all the requirements for the role, perhaps even surpassed them. Logically, I was the best fit. But what made me different from the actor assigned to the substitute role? All I could think of was race. It didn't make sense to me. I kept trying to find something else that maybe I didn't have. The movie industry couldn't be this corrupt, right? After hours of thinking, I wasn't able to find anything. It kept gnawing me every day, but I was simply too busy with acting. Perhaps I would reach an epiphany one day and figure out what the director really meant. Eventually, we finished, and I had time to ponder. A few weeks after the release of the film, it hit me. I realized I had wronged myself in so many ways. I kept quiet in order to keep myself from getting kicked out of production. I had only thought about how to gain the most revenue for the movie. I had accepted my second class without giving a fight for my rights. I had sacrificed my identity for commercial success. Because of my complacency, I had become intertwined with this immoral system. I was appalled. I decided it was time to leave the system. What else could it bring besides a career of abuse, torment, and misery? Maybe a lot of money, but was it worth it?
Today, we have taken ourselves through the lives of 3 interesting men. These men have shown us how movies have taken away our ability to create our own thoughts. And together, we must solve this problem. If we allow this problem to continue any longer, we may risk even greater effects on our posterity. Imagine the future generations living in a world in which they don't have the drive to push forward and create new ideas. Or a place where it is acceptable to stereotype people based on appearance. This is the world that we are entering. However, together, we can put an end to this abuse of our liberty to think freely. Together, we can create a better world. Our next segment will be about...
Oh damn, are you filming?
In our society, music is everywhere, and we need to get these.
Oh my god! We are the knights who say we want a strawberry!
Our next segment